Let's talk about a very specific kind of leadership. The kind that stops being quiet and starts building real, documented authority within an organization. This is really a study in the courage it takes to shape systems, not just to collect titles.
And this quote right here, this is the heart of it all. It's a direct challenge to that old idea of just waiting around to be recognized. It totally reframes leadership not as some title you're given, but as an outcome you strategically, intentionally build and then claim as your own.
So what really holds so many potential leaders back? Well, it's often what you could call a habit of invisibility. This reluctance to step up and take credit for incredible work. We can break that habit, and the way to do it is by looking at the stories of women who just flat out refuse to let their impact stay hidden.
Which brings us to our big idea today. Leadership is not an accident. It is an intentional design. It's an architecture. So let's look at the blueprint for how you actually construct it, how you move from doing great things in the background to creating a visible, undeniable legacy.
Okay, so the crucial point is this. The architecture of resilience is a framework, and it's built on three massive pillars. First, the credibility you earn. Second, the competence you prove. And third, the conviction that drives you. And here's the thing. It's in those moments of chaos and disruption that these pillars are truly forged, creating leaders who build their authority right in the middle of the challenge.
So, for Phase 1, we're focusing on pioneering and persevering. We're going to look at leaders who broke completely new ground against some incredible odds, building their resilience through some really profound personal trials. First up, I want you to meet Grace Wanjiru-Kamau. Today, she heads her own private security firm after more than 20 years in the industry. Her journey, though, was anything but a straight line. It's just a powerful story of adapting to what life throws at you and completely redefining success on your own terms.
This slide really maps out that pivotal shift. You see, Grace wanted to be a nurse, but reality had other plans. She had to support her mother, so she took a job in private security. But here's the crucial part. She didn't treat it as just some detour. She made it her mission to set a new standard of excellence, and in doing so, she transformed a responsibility into a pioneering legacy.
Next up is Pastor Milka Fanuta Okiambe. Think about this. She's a single mother, a senior pastor, and the owner of a thriving real estate company. She has this amazing ability to merge spiritual guidance with sharp business leadership, building her own architecture of resilience on a foundation of unshakable faith. But Pastor Milka's resilience was tested in the most unimaginable way. She faced a violent, truly harrowing encounter with intruders in her home, a moment that honestly could have shattered anyone.
And this right here reveals the source of her incredible strength. In that moment of absolute terror, her conviction became her shield. She didn't just emerge as a survivor. She became a living testimony to the power of faith. And that's a resilience she now channels into her mission to mentor and lead others.
Now, in Phase 2, the architecture itself shifts a bit. We're now looking at mastering and systematizing. Here, we're going to examine leaders who create lasting change not by starting brand new ventures, but by mastering systems from within an organization. Meet Salome Makoka Wakala. Her leadership journey has spanned 27 years at Egerton University. She represents such a powerful form of leadership that, frankly, is often overlooked. Leadership through dedicated service and true institutional mastery. Salome's own words really reveal her philosophy. She understood that her role wasn't just a job. It was a chance to actually shape the organization's fabric. By mastering that role, she discovered she had the power to drive transformational change from right where she was. And that brings us to Rita Boalane Ngoma, the Secretary General of the Zambia Institute of Secretaries. She was inspired by her own mother's prestigious role, and she rose from a humble background, totally driven by this deep ambition to serve and, importantly, to systematize. This slide shows exactly how Renahar turned chaos into order. She was facing resistance to change and a whole lot of document disorganization. But she didn't just work harder, she built a system. By implementing unique codes for document management, she created a lasting solution for accuracy and efficiency. And get this, that system is still in use today. That is a perfect example of how you build documented institutional authority.
So after hearing these 4 incredible stories, what do they really teach us? Let's distill all their experiences into a blueprint, a framework for building your own architecture of leadership, and maybe most importantly, for finally claiming your achievements. Here it is. First, you've got a pioneer like Grace did, turning circumstance into opportunity. Second, you have to persevere like Pastor Milka, finding strength in your deepest convictions. Third, master your role, just like Salama, understanding that real leadership can be found in dedicated service. And fourth, systematize like Rita, creating tangible solutions that become your institutional legacy.
And this image just brilliantly illustrates the final piece of the puzzle. When you take individual resilience and you partner it with institutional platforms like Women in Leadership and IRC, that's when you transform those hidden achievements into visible global benchmarks. You see, visibility expands possibility. And that possibility, when you multiply it, that becomes progress.
So we're going to end with this challenge for you. Don't just admire these accomplishments. I want you to interrogate your own leadership posture. Ask yourself, where am I being passive? Where am I underestimating my own capacity to pioneer, to persevere, to master, and to build? Because, as we have seen again and again, leadership is not bestowed, it is claimed.